Well, hello and welcome to Faith, Philosophy and Life with me, Mr. Shelton. It's great for you to be back. Today we are going to start a new series looking at Islam. Now, obviously, there's lots of branches of Islam, so today's going to be sort of an overview, and then we're going to look at some of the key Muslim beliefs. Now, this is very much an introduction, this unit. Some of you may know a lot more about Islam, and some of you may not have encountered it previously. So we'll see how we go. Now, behind me are a range of images which are all to do with Islam, and I wonder how many of those you have seen before or seen similar images of, because Islam is painted by the media in very stereotypical ways. However, there is also a lot of truth with the images behind me about what happens each week and every day in a Muslim's life, Muslims being the followers of the religion of Islam. So what we're going to do is I'm going to walk you through a lesson today for you to take notes of. Please send them through to your teachers. Go and grab a pen and a bit of paper, because here's our cheesy intro music. Okay, so welcome back. So the first thing I'd like you to do is to make a little mind map for me over a page or half a page with the word Islam in the middle of it. And I'd like you to write down anything you already know about Islam with a number 1 next to it, please. So anything you already know about Islam with a number 1 next to it. And do that now, pause me and then come back to me. Okay, so our title today is How Do Muslims Demonstrate Their Faith? And our learning objective is to explore some key beliefs that Muslims have about Islam. Our literacy objective is to extract information from a number of sources. Do make sure that you've got that title written down, please. It's going to be a good lesson if you can explain at least 2 beliefs from Islam. Great if you can say how these beliefs affect a Muslim's life, and even better if you can evaluate which parts affect a Muslim's life that you think might be the easiest or the hardest thing, and why you might think that. So what do you think that the parts of a Muslim's life that they may do, which is the easiest, which is the hardest, and why do you think that? During this session then, we're going to do a little quiz to see what you know. There's a little media clip, and then there's some information investigation for you as well. And so during this session then, we're going to look a little bit of media analysis, a little bit of information, and then there's a question and answer session as well towards the end. So to start with then, what we're going to do is I'm going to ask you to access this media clip. Now, I've not been able to link it in, so you do need to make a note of that section in red there, which is http://tiny.cc/fpl-islam1. That will take you to a BBC Teach clip on YouTube that you can watch, and I'd like you to write down at least 4 more points around the same mind map that you used earlier, but this time with a number 2 next to it. So you're going to watch the clip, and while you're watching it, you're going to make some notes with a number 2 next to each of those, and that will show some learning from what you knew at the start of this session. So access that link now. I'll put it in the description below as well, and then come back to me. Make sure you do it in a different tab, obviously, so you don't lose me. Okay, so the next thing that you need is the worksheet that was also in the description below. And you'll need that in front of you because there are 11 questions on there. I'm going to go through some slides of information. I'm not going to read them out to you. You're more than able to read them off the screen. So I'm just going to put those behind me. You need to pause them each time and extract the information to answer the question. As you can see, the gaps aren't very big because I'm not after a huge amount of detail at this point. So load up that worksheet, have it behind you, and I'm now going to go through that information with you as well. Remember to pause me because I'm going to keep moving on. Okay, so hopefully now we've got some key beliefs about what Muslims have about Islam, and you can identify at least 2 key Islamic beliefs now. Great if we can think about how those affect a Muslim's life, and that's what we're going to go on to think about now. So also in the link in the description below, part of that Google Drive directory, is this Hassan's Family News Report, which I'd like you to complete. Now it does say do it in pairs. Obviously if you're watching this at home you're unable to do that, so you need to do the hard work by yourself, unfortunately. But you can see the task very clearly laid out there, and you can create it as if there were a role-play discussion between 2 people where you're asking questions based on the work that we've done today, where Hassan is then responding as well using the information that you've had today. This should take you about 20 minutes or so to do. Don't feel that you need to just stay with that note script mark. Do write it out in your book if you would wish to as well. And obviously everything you do today, please photograph, send to your teachers. We would love to see it. So pause me now and then come back to me when you're done. Brilliant. Okay, well, we're kind of nearly at the end. There's a couple more activities still to do, but we are getting through our learning objectives really, really well. So this is sort of our main final task. Again, should take you about 15 minutes or so. It's a mini write, so you're looking for a paragraph, half a page, a page. It depends on what you're able to do, but do push yourselves. And I've got a load of sentence starters behind me. Be really good for you to stretch yourself to answer as many of those as you can in as much detail as you can. So again, pause me now and then come back to me as soon as you're done. Okay, fantastic. So what we've done today then is we have thought about at least two key beliefs of Islam. We've thought about how those beliefs affect a Muslim's life, and with that mini write activity, you've started to say what you think might be the easiest or the hardest thing to do. So the final activity then I'd like you to do is go back to that mind map you've been using throughout the lesson, where you've labelled it number 1 and number 2, and I'd like you to write down anything you've now learnt that you didn't already know with a number 3 next to it. Okay, so anything you didn't know already with a number 3 next to it. And that is where I'm going to leave you today. So thanks very much for your time. Take care of yourselves, stay safe, wash hands, God bless you, and I'll see you soon.